Hello, I'm Faye. I'm a personal stylist and I'm a mentor for personal stylists. And today we are chatting all about how you can land your first client as a personal stylist. Now, backtracking from one of my earlier videos, I spoke on how I transitioned from being a nurse to a personal stylist and the steps that I took to get to where I am today. Today, we're piggybacking off of that conversation and we're covering now how you can land your first client. So assuming here that you've studied personal styling or that you feel confident enough to now turn your passion of personal styling into a business. Now, my first recommendation, and this is for you if you are wanting to get experience first before you start charging for your services, is to really get that experience. This is just my experience, and this is what I would highly recommend that you do, is to try and dip your toes into all areas of styling. So what that means is going out and working with pro bono clients. Clients that will allow you to let them go through your experience, your styling package, in exchange for feedback and testimonials. That way you're also then able to experience the styling package that you want to offer to clients. It will help you then tweak your services, it will help you master the art of styling, and it will help you when it comes to really giving you an idea of the value that you're giving versus the pricing that you want your styling package to be. I worked with, I would say, about 7 or 8 pro bono clients before I felt really confident to start charging for my services. I wanted to make sure that I gained experience with a variety of different people because at the time I had no idea who I wanted to serve. So by working with a variety of different people, I was able to then really identify my client and who I really wanted to work with, who really lit me up, and the kind of service that I wanted to offer. If you already have an idea of who you want to be working with, that's amazing. And that means then that you just have to target that person when it comes to your pro bono work. For you to get pro bono work, my tip would be to use social media to your advantage if you have a social media platform. All you have to do is jump on your stories and promote that you are offering a styling package in exchange for feedback and testimonials. When you mention that this package is free, a lot of people will jump on that opportunity because we know that styling services is an investment, and when it's a freebie, people will jump on that. So again, if you know who you want to serve, make sure that you're hanging on those platforms, whether that be Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. But if not, you can do a general post and see who responds to you. If you don't use social media, you can always ask your family, your friends, your workmates, your neighbors, anywhere where you can find someone who will appreciate a styling package. And you just have to position it as a free complimentary styling package in exchange for testimonial and feedback. That will really help you hit the ground running when it comes to the service that you're providing and the kind of transformations that you can provide. You can then use those testimonials and feedback as client proof when it comes to you promoting your own business and your own service. If you don't yet know what kind of service you want to offer, this is also a great opportunity for you to dip your toes in and see what lights you up the most. The traditional way of offering styling services is by taking your client through the complete package. So discovering your style, wardrobes, shopping, and styling. You can offer that as a full package to your pro bono clients, and then at least that way you can get a feeler of what you love out of those services, whether you love them all or whether there's a few that you don't love as much, but at least then it will give you an idea of the kind of services that you can be offering as well. Now remember, and I want to share this with you, your business, you can run it however you want, you can offer whatever you want. Right? But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are offering a service that firstly lights you up, and secondly, that serves the person that you want to serve. There has to be an alignment there, right? Because if you are offering a service that doesn't help the person that you actually want to help, that won't work out. This is where your business foundation comes in, and it's really important that you know who you want to serve, what you want to offer, as well as your brand to be able to make these decisions. When I first started, I had no idea about my brand. I had no idea who I wanted to work with. I had an idea of the kind of services that I could be offering, but I didn't know anything more than that. And so it took me working with, as I said before, 8 pro bono clients for me to really get clear on who I wanted to serve and why, And then from there, I was able to create offers and services that really matched my client and what they wanted to achieve for themselves. Piggybacking off of that, it's also important that you're making decisions and creating offers that really align with yourself and your brand and your vision. So making sure that whatever decision you make, it leads you closer and closer to that vision that you have for yourself. This, as I said, is your business foundation. This is what helped me kickstart my business. Before this, I would spend days and months just trying to figure out what to do and how to move the needle in my business. I had no idea what action to take. And it wasn't until I learned about your business foundation and what that actually meant and how important it was that I was able to really gain clarity on, again, my brand, who I wanted to serve, and what I wanted to offer. Once you have that clarity, it will make every decision moving forward so much easier, right? Because you'll know what it is that you're offering, you'll know who you're speaking to, and that will in turn help you with your messaging, with your copy, with your content, and with how you market yourself as a personal stylist. With every decision that you make moving forward, you can always look back on your business foundation and ask yourself, does this align with my business foundation? So that is just a side point that I wanted to make if you are just in the beginning stages of your career, or if you're in a point of your career where you're feeling a bit unsure and don't have much clarity around who you're serving or what you want to offer next, always go back to your business foundation. If you want to learn more about your business foundation, how to identify your niche, your branding, and the types of services that you can be offering as a personal stylist, I have a free masterclass that will teach you all of that. I'll leave a link in the description box below so you can check it out. But essentially, after you've built your business foundation, you've gained your pro bono experience, it's time for you to land your first paying client. How you can do that? There are so many ways. Let's talk about offline first. If you are spending time offline, you have to first ask yourself, where is your dream client hanging, right? Whether that be at the park, at the beach, at the gym, at schools, in networking events. You need to ask yourself, if I were my dream client, where would I be right now? Because essentially what you want to do is you want to get yourself in front of your audience. Typically, what I see with my students and with my clients is that they're attending networking events. They're speaking to mums at school drop-offs. They are really just getting themselves in front of their audience's shoes, and they are simply talking about what they do and what they offer. They're not necessarily hard selling and saying, hey, come pay for my services, but they're sharing more about themselves and what they do to get a feeler so that as the recipient, they'll get to know my clients more and know that they are a personal stylist with the services that they have to offer. I haven't personally attended networking events, but I know how successful they are because essentially everyone is attending that event for a reason. And from my understanding, you do get your own allocated time to share more about you and what you have to offer. And in turn, you're able to then work with those who are in that same room. Bonus point, if those that are in the same room are your dream client, it will make it so much easier for you to be able to approach those people and share more about your services. For me, not a lot, all of my clients come from online. All of my clients, I would say 99% anyway, come from Instagram, the 1% from word of mouth and from referrals. So the way that I go about it is on Instagram, I make sure that I use a content strategy that I've used for the last 6 years that really speaks to my dream client. And again, this comes down to your foundation. You need to know who it is that you're speaking to, what it is that you want to offer, and your brand, right? And what makes you different as a personal stylist for you to be able to make content that really speaks to your dream client. After that, you also need a content strategy, a strategy that attracts, nurtures, and converts your dream client. So a little backstory, when I first started, I would share my experience as a personal stylist, what I would get up to, and really all that did was it got interest from my family and friends who were really just curious to know about me and my journey and where I was going and what I was doing, right? It wasn't until I learned about a content strategy that I really set the solid foundation for my business, that I really understood the importance of having a strong brand, a strong niche, and a strong offer or offers. And that's also then when I learned how to write and speak to my dream client and how to create content in a way that, again, attracts, nurtures, and then converts. There are specific types of content out there that speaks to your dream client. And if you want to learn more about that, I share that in my membership, Stylists Who Scale. It's a membership all about helping you grow and scale your personal styling business. So I will leave that link down in the description box if you're interested to learn more about that. But essentially, that is what the membership is all about. It's really about helping you gain client attraction, increase impact, and scale your business. This strategy is what I teach time and time again. It's what I use and have used for the last 6 years. I have written similar types of content. I've used the same template. And over time, I have just mastered how I write and how I speak to my dream client. In turn, being able to get into their minds, and then in turn, being able to receive those DMs, letting me know that I'm in their minds, right? I know exactly what they're thinking and that they are ready to work with me. And this is the beauty and the power of a strong content strategy and a strong business foundation. You need both to be able to market yourself and be successful on social media. You can't just use social media as a way to share your work and hope that someone will come across your page and send you a DM, right? I wish it was that easy. But unfortunately, it takes a little bit more strategy. But I can tell you now, once you learn the strategy and once you have a solid business foundation, it gets to be easy. Every single piece of content that you produce will be primed and really magnetic to your dream client as long as you have those foundational pieces in place first. So Instagram is a really great platform for you to use if you want to use LinkedIn. When I first started, I also used Facebook, and I would hang in Facebook groups where my dream client would be hanging. And I remember that is where one of my very first clients came from. I simply shared more about myself and what I do, and I shared a transformation, and I landed a client from that. So it can be as simple as that. Mind you, that was 6 years ago. I'm not quite sure how Facebook groups operate these days. It's been a while, and I personally don't hang on Facebook anymore. But ultimately, you want to find a platform that works well for you. If you want to use YouTube for your business, amazing. Long form content is great. It's great to build trust and to nurture your audience and to share your expertise. The question you just have to ask yourself is whether your client is also hanging on YouTube. Same thing with TikTok, an amazing platform, especially for exposure. But again, really just asking yourself if your client is hanging on that platform. So you have options here when it comes to landing your first client. It's really about, again, asking yourself who your dream client is and where they're hanging, and making sure that you have everything ready to go when you do land that client. You cannot land a client and then have nothing to offer them, right? So you want to make sure that you have your niche down pat, your offer down pat, and you have a process to be able to lead them into your world. So what I mean by that is a sales process and an onboarding process. When you communicate with your client, there's a certain conversation that needs to be had in terms of really exploring what your client is currently going through, what are their goals, and whether your offer can help them achieve their goals. And then when it comes to the onboarding process, it's really about, okay, once I land this client, what is their next step? Do I send them a proposal? Do I send them an email? Do I send them a contract? Do I send them an invoice? Or do I send them all of the above? Right? So that again comes down to your practice. It comes down to your experience with your pro bonos. That's the perfect time for you to practice your sales conversations and your onboarding process. It's also the perfect opportunity for you to practice your client experience as well and really tweak your offers to make sure that they're seamless and that they make sense to you and your client. So to summarize, first of all, get experience with pro bono clients. Put yourself out there, share it on your stories or on your social media, reach out to family and friends, and gain as much experience as you can. Then have a solid business foundation. So know your brand, know your niche, and know the offers that you want to provide. From there, have a strong marketing strategy, whether that be in person or online, and really making sure that you are getting yourself in front of the client that you want to work with. And then from there, getting practice with sales conversations, making sure that you're addressing your clients' current experiences and what they want to achieve for themselves, so their goals and their desires, and then onboarding your client, which is a whole other conversation in itself. So whether you want to promote yourself in person or online, know that there are so many people out there that need you. All you have to do is get yourself in front of those people. And like I said before, As long as you have a strong business foundation, you know your brand, you know who you want to target, and you know what you want to offer, it will make it easy for you to be able to know where you should be hanging to be able to land your first client. If you are questioning anything about your niche, your offers, and your brand as a whole, essentially your business foundation, and you want to learn more about how to gain clarity in these areas so that you can show up with confidence, know where to show up, and land your next client, then I invite you to my free masterclass, From Passion to Profit. I'll be teaching you exactly how to build a solid business foundation for yourself so that you can land your next client with confidence. I will leave the link in the description box below so that you can sign up, and I look forward to seeing you there. If you have any questions at all about how to land your next client or just how to get started as a personal stylist, feel free to leave your questions below. I'm more than happy to help. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited for you to land your next client, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.